Got it. So welcome. We are going to have some fun. We are going to have some very specific goals for the next 4 weeks. I do want this to be interactive and, for us to share our experiences and share our successes and our challenges together. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for all of us to grow, including myself. I always start this series off by saying I am definitely not the expert in this, but I think I'm the only one willing to teach it. So I have a good time and just roll with it. You'll probably have some great suggestions for me along the way. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen here, and I'll just go to view. John Padone was not available to start the meeting this morning. So all of a sudden I was like, it won't let me start. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was on here and ready to rock and roll. So those that don't know me, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So we have had a lot of fun growing EXP in this area. And thanks to Shelly Johnson, I'm really working hard to now take it outside of my market. Security alert, there we go. And grow this, grow different legs across the country. So what we're going to focus on today are kind of the basics. So for those of you that have really gotten a good head start in agent attraction, starting next week, we'll really dig in deep to some things. But for those of you that haven't really started and want to know how to get started, we're going to focus on that today. And even for those of you that have gotten a jump start, we'll handle some scripts today that I hope will be very helpful to you. If you have any questions, shoot those in the chat box. If you would. I have a feeling Craig LePage may upload this later to our Impact Group Worldwide page. So it'd be great if I can see those in the chat box, and then I'll make sure I address them. So when we talk about financial freedom, it's so interesting to me. I was just on a call yesterday where I was sharing that before EXP, I didn't see my path to financial freedom. It was all transaction based, right? Where's the next transaction? Where's the next transaction? How most people get there eventually in their lives is with some substantial overhead, managing people, which I did my fair share of, and I was done with that as of about 12 years ago. A lot of stress, a lot of travel, countless work hours, time away from their family, and not only time sacrifices, but their health sacrifices, right? So that's how most people get there. EXP offers us this really unique opportunity to run our real estate businesses more seamlessly through EXP tools, global referrals, which equals more closings and commissions, right? But we also get to grow our income exponentially globally. And it doesn't take travel. It doesn't take much time away from your family. And it's all through residual income, which is zero overhead, zero startup costs. I joke with everyone that this is a retirement plan that I haven't had to invest in for 30 years, right? I didn't have all that blood, sweat, and tears for 30 years to get this retirement plan going. You can work remotely, obviously more time with your family and more time to do the things that keep us healthy and that keep us happy and things that we really enjoy. Hold on one second. Let me just see here. I can mute someone. There we go. No management requirements. That was one of my absolute favorite things. When Shelly Johnson originally called me about this opportunity, she said, hey, Meg, this seems like it has your name written all over it, because I know you enjoyed being a managing broker for all those years, but there are some things about it you didn't miss. And I said, yes, the countless meetings, the where's my lead question that came every day from about 120 agents. But I did love the culture and creating a culture and having a family. So it's lovely that you don't have the management requirements here. And the biggest thing, and it's been so wonderful for me, and I know for so many even on this call, is the opportunity to change others' lives, right? This chance is for everyone. It is not just for me. It's not just for Kathy Burns. It's not just for Brent Gove. It's not just for Shelly Johnson. We all have the exact same opportunity to really grow longevity in wealth for our families. Speaking of that, the one thing that intrigued me the most, or really got me the most excited about the revenue sharing side of EXP, first of all, I was blown away by what a gift it is. But secondly, I have 3 kids that are now grown. In fact, my youngest just called me and she just got her first big girl job this morning at a hospital. But you know, I care about them and what I leave behind, not just my legacy of, hey, my mom can sell houses, but the legacy of she really changed people's lives and helped people grow in the real estate industry. And then there's the financial piece too, that I would love to be able to leave something behind for them. So the fact that this revenue share is not only a massive way for us to enjoy our retirement and even our lives currently, but it's a great way to leave something behind for your family because it's willable. What is your why? Until you know your why, we know this, there is no engine in your car, right? So you have the engine set up in your, let me mute some people here, sorry guys. If you're just hopping in, it would be awesome if we could just make sure everybody's muted. I think we're good now. Okay, awesome, thank you so much. Wow, it's great to see all these faces on here. So what is your why? This week, your first challenge, if you have not truly defined that yet, is I'd love to see it in writing. If you want to share it with everybody next week, we'd love to know what is your why. And it needs to be a little deeper from all the classes and everything I've attended on this, a little deeper than just my kids or my retirement or my happiness or my health. Dig in just a little bit if you can this week and really determine what exactly that looks like to you. Is it, for me, it's definitely my family. I'm super family oriented, those of you that know me well. And so, but it goes way deeper than that. It's the fact that in the last 3 years, I've been able to take my kids on these fun, awesome vacations that we didn't get to do when they were young. And I'm making these memories with them. And for me, when I look back, that's the biggest gift of all. Yes, I'm paying my bills with revenue share. Yes, I love that I'm helping people, and that's a huge part of my why as well. But number one, looking back on my life, being able to show and know what I've done to grow those relationships and to have those amazing experiences we'll never get the chance to do, you know, later in life. So my whys, as I mentioned, there they are, my crazy kids, to create unforgettable memories, as I just mentioned with my kids, to create a life by design. And when I say that, I'm already experiencing a little bit of that. It's a little crazy right now, but it's all so enjoyable. Being able to be on Zoom calls with agents and meeting agents all over the world. I was teaching a class in EXP University yesterday, and one of the things that just kept coming to my mind was, oh my gosh, like I would have never known Kent Brenneman in Indiana, Kyle Bender in Charlotte, Karen Rawlings and Bob Gogger up in Maryland, just all these amazing people, Matt Chambers now in Colombia, the country. It's just amazing how the relationships have really grown. And then to create and strengthen my legacy every day, which to me, that legacy is helping people grow and succeed in their life and in their personal life and in their business as well. 5 things define your future. Your why, so we're working on that one this week. Your goals, going to have you working on that one this week. Not only goals, but a plan to reach those goals. This is where I personally think so many people get stuck in their future, right? Get stuck in reaching those goals. It's like, have you set your goals? Do you have your vision board? Do you have this? Yay, Ron, awesome. But I have no plan to get there. So I'm hoping in the next 4 weeks that you guys feel like you leave with a very well-defined plan of action. Even within this first week or two, we're really going to be working on what that plan of action can look like. And then you can tweak it to your liking. I'm a big believer that another thing that defines our future is our passion. I hope that people see passion in me and always have in my 28 years in the business. I love it. I love this industry. I love all the people that are in it. And I do truly care not only about my clients, but about my partners in revenue share and you know, how this helps their future as well. So passion is critical. What are your passions? Maybe there are other passions that this will feed. right? Your passion doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. Matt Chambers that I just mentioned, I was on a call with him at 9 a.m. this morning, and he's in Colombia. He's never sold real estate in his life, but he has a passion for things that he wants to do with his life, and he's using revenue share to get there, and he is crushing it. So it makes me laugh when people say, well, I've only been in the business a year, I can't really talk to agents. I use Matt as my example because he has me on calls all the time, and he's just growing legs in his revenue share all over the world. And it's really, really neat because I know he's fueling his passion, which is travel. And guess where he was this morning? In Brazil. And it was just so neat. I said, what are you doing there? And he goes, I can do it. And I'm here. I've always wanted to explore the culture. I'm going to spend a few months here and learn the language and meet with some agents. And so that is him fueling one of the passions that he has. So be thinking on those 4 things this week, if you can, your why, your goals, your plan, I'll help you with, and your passion. Action, of course, is number 5, right? We can have all those 4 things on the left, and we can even have a great plan. We can have it all written out and itemized and a timeline on it. But if we never sit down and start, and we don't pick up the phone and make those calls or go to events and make those connections, we're not going to get anywhere. So those are the 5 things that define your future. I just love this quote. I'm a big Tony Robbins girl, and I love this quote. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin, right? So I would ask you, if you're saying I'm not successful in agent attraction, or I'm not successful in my sales, if you have all those 4 things on the left, but you haven't put your plan in action, then you're going to, be experiencing this quote. And that makes me so sad because there are so many people with so much potential that just never begin the journey. So my hope is that together we can really begin your journey in the next few weeks. So you already have a homework assignment. I know. I feel like the old school marm here, but create a detailed list and or vision board with photos, excuse me, guys, of what long-term time and financial freedom looks like to you. Okay. So detailed list, and or if you're a visual person, I like to have things visually. So put them on a vision board with some cutout photos that you printed off the internet. I used to say cut out a magazine. That's how old I am, but not many of us look at magazines or the newspaper anymore. Where would you live? How would you be giving time and support to your community or your family or other realtors, or whatever that may look like? Charities, that's one thing that I will say I have not taken action on yet, and I'm mad at myself for it. So I want you guys to hold me to that. In the next 4 weeks, I am getting my charity plan in action because it's just something that I really miss. I used to be involved in some great charities here in the local area, but that's part of my future that I haven't pressed the gas pedal on. And I know I'll be learning from you guys as we go as well. So let's go. Revenue share is a huge gift from Glenn Sanford. Every morning, like I literally have Glenn in my prayers because I'm so grateful for him, and I pray for him because what a huge endeavor, right? He has taken on, and he's done a fantastic job with it, and we're really grateful. The question is, will you receive that gift or will you reject it? And the way you reject it is just by never either getting a plan in place or taking any action. So I try to take advantage of the beautiful gift that eXp Realty has provided us. How does it work? So this is really quick and easy. If you're not familiar with this, I want you to know exactly what revenue share means. I want to dispel a couple of myths before we even talk about this slide. The myths are, number one, that the money that's paid to the agent that recruited the other agent, that money gets taken out of the agent's pocket. That is so not true. Okay, it only comes out of the eXp's pocket. So we're probably all aware that everyone in the company is on an 80-20 split, right? Until you reach your cap of 16,000 if you're an individual agent, 8,000 if you're a team member, you're on that 80-20. Once you hit that cap, you're at 100% the rest of your anniversary year, okay? So every year, when you're paying that 20% to EXP, EXP has specified 7 different levels above you, okay? We're just going to use you as the example. So you're having a closing, you're paying EXP 20%. 10% of that 20% gets distributed between 7 levels of agents above you. So the agent that directly sponsored you, above them is the agent that sponsored them, so on and so forth. We call it your up teams, okay? So they have specified certain percentages that get shared from the company revenue. So this is straight company revenue, not out of agents' pockets, okay? So that's the first myth. The second myth is that you have to wait for it. That's so not true. You do not have to wait for it. Your level 1 agents, meaning I'm going to go straight down my list. So Mary Ruth, you might get picked on a little bit today because you're first on my list here. But let's just say Mary Ruth and I had a conversation and she said, you know, Meg, I think I'm ready to move my license and I'm ready to come to EXP. Then I would be considered Mary Ruth's sponsor if she named me as such. Above me then is Shelly Johnson. Above Shelly is AJ Maida. Above AJ Maida is Cliff Freeman, and then Brent Gove and Gene Frederick. So those 7 levels, those 6 levels above me would also be paid when Mary Ruth has a closing. But for level 1 agents, there is no waiting period. Okay. So for people that you personally sponsor into the company, if Mary Ruth transferred her license this week, and she got something under contract this weekend and closed it in 3 weeks, when that closing happens, the following month, I would get a direct deposit for my portion, which would be 3.5% because she's a level 1 agent of the company's revenue that they made off of her GCI, which is really, really cool. So it's 3.5% of her GCI they would share back with me. For level 2 through 7, there is a bit of a waiting period in that you are receiving a tiny little portion. We'll go through that in a few minutes, but you're not receiving the larger share of the revenue until you meet a certain number of agents across your level 1 that you have personally sponsored. So just think of it as your goal is to go wide on your level 1, right? And then help those level 1s get their people, which is level 2, and help those level 2s get their agents, level 3, and help everyone build their groups out from there. Ultimately, your goal is to have 40 across your level 1, and that allows you to be paid the full percentages of revenue sharing on all 7 levels. Okay, so the cool thing about this, and if you don't hear anything else today, is that this is generational wealth. This goes on forever. As long as the agents in your revenue share group are with eXp Realty anywhere in the world, you keep continuing year after year after year to receive this revenue share from them. So I call it wake up money. This is my wake up money. On the 22nd of every month, I wake up with a huge smile on my face. I'm like, oh, I got to check my bank account. Plop, in comes this great deposit from the hard work that the agents and eXp Realty is doing to reward everyone. So forever and ever, this is a direct deposit for you. This is not a now kind of thing. This is a long-term build your generational wealth kind of thing. It's amazing how fast it accumulates. So the shared revenue comes out of eXp pockets. It is paid via direct deposit monthly. It is inheritable to your heirs. It's cumulative and compounding. And the best thing about this is no geographic limits. So I'm going to tell you a story real quick about being in Starbucks one day. I was in Starbucks 4 years ago. Actually, I just had my 5-year anniversary. So about 4.5 years ago, I was in Starbucks. And Shelly had convinced me to come down to eXpCon that year in Florida. And I had only had my license with eXp for maybe a week, 2 weeks. So I said, I don't have time to go down there. I'm transferring everything and I'm getting my signs. And she said, Meg, you're going. So the other thing she convinced me to do while I was down there was we went out on the beach. And if you look way, way back on my Facebook, it's fun. It's a funny little video, but we go out on the beach. The wind is blowing sideways. And she convinces me to do a little, hey, everybody, I'm now with eXp Realty video. So it was a couple minutes long. I just said, I'm super excited about this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. I come back to Charleston and I'm a Starbucks addict. For those of you that know me, you know, I love me some Starbucks. And I'm standing in the line in Starbucks and this guy behind me taps me on the shoulder and he says, "You're Meg." And I said, "I am." And I did not recognize him at all. And he said, "We're friends on Facebook and our daughters were in marching band together at Wando High School." And this was even, I think they were in high school together because Reagan might have just graduated. Anyway, and he said, and I said, "Oh my gosh, yes, remind me of your name." And so we struck up this conversation. Turns out he's in real estate here in Charleston. And I said, "Oh, he said, tell me about this company thing, because you said in your video, it's the best thing since sliced bread." And he goes, "And I don't find you as the kind of person that would say that if you really haven't done your research. I know you've been in the business a long time." And I said, "Well, it is the best thing since sliced bread. I'd love to chat with you about it. Do you have time for a cup of coffee?" He said, "Sure." So we sit down right there. I'm in my workout clothes. We sit down, we have our coffee. And about halfway through, he said, "Okay, let me stop you right here." He goes, "This is amazing. And I just went to work as an employee." He said, "I do have my license, but I'm an employee for one of the biggest RE/MAX teams here in town. So for me, he's paying me really, really well. And I'm running his flip side of his business. So this, I won't be able to move. But I tell you who I want to connect you with is my college roommate from Indiana, Kent Brenneman, who I just talked to the other day. We're not really close, but we keep up with each other on Facebook. And Kent is thinking about franchising his independent brokerage because he's just drowning, trying to keep up with recruiting against all the big franchises that have come into his market. And he goes, he needs to hear about this. He has a RE/MAX franchise agreement sitting in his inbox. I said, "No, stop. We got to talk to him." Long story short, from that little 2-minute video on my Facebook and running into this guy in Starbucks, I now have started a whole team in Southern Indiana, and they've known people in Mexico. And I think I have 6 or 7 states of partners that, all started from just that one conversation. So this is global. There are no geographic limits to who you can attract to the company. Really quickly, this is what I was referring to as the tiers, or I refer to them as levels, levels 1 through 7. As I mentioned, on level 1, Mary Ruth was my level 1 agent, right? So if I sponsored her into the company, immediately when she starts having closings, I get 3.5% of her gross commission income direct deposited the next month. If she has 6 closings that month, I get 3.5% of all 6 of them. Okay, all the way up until the time Mary Ruth caps each year. So when she caps and the company's paying her 100%, there is no revenue for the company to share back with me, right? But then again, when she resets to her 80/20 next year, I start getting those deposits again. The reason there's no waiting period for getting paid on your level 1s is right over here on the right. Frontline qualifying agents. You'll see that it says a minimum of 0. So obviously you have to have 1 in order to be paid on them. But what they're saying is there is no waiting period and number of agents that you need to have across your level 1 to open up payment on that level. So now let's move forward and say Mary Ruth and John Padone also names me as his sponsor, and Monica names me as her sponsor. Okay, so I'm now up to 3 on my level 1. Well, Monica happens to know a team leader out of Montana. And she calls me up and says, "Meg, I need your help. I'm talking to this team leader. Can we get them on a Zoom call? They're kind of interested, but we need to talk about how to structure their team." "Sure, let's do it." We get on a Zoom call with them. They end up coming over. That team leader's name is Sherry Bradley. So Sherry and her team of 4 or 5 agents under her, Sherry would now be my level 2. And her team members would come in under her and be my level 3. So you see how that works. So let's fast forward and say I still just have the 3 of them on my level 1, Mary Ruth, John, and Monica. And this Sherry comes in here, and Sherry has 4 closings in November next month. And her team members that are on my level 3 have 8 closings. next month between the 4 of them, okay? In order to be paid, both of these columns added together, so 3.8% plus 0.2, which equals 4% for level 2, I would need to get to 5 qualifying agents on my level 1. So I'm not quite there yet, right? I have 3. But what the company would do is they would still pay me the 3.5 on my 3 level 1s if they have closings that month. And the next, and I would get paid 0.2%, the smaller percentage of the company's revenue on who's on my level 2, Sherry, right? If Sherry had closings, and then for her team members, I would get paid 0.1% until I reach these minimums on each level. So once I get to 5 on my level 1, then when Sherry has closings and anyone else on my level 2, I'm making more on them than I am on my level 1s. And people say, well, why is that? Because we're really, really adamant in this brokerage about each of us helping each other grow. Does that mean that you need to be the one, if they call you, let's say Sherry, one of her team members called her and said, I need help. I've got, 4 agents that want to talk to me about EXP and I don't know what I'm talking about yet. Sherry says, well, I'm new too. Then just keep going up in your upline, and someone like myself or Shelly is ready to be on calls with them. And we do it with you on the call. You're able to learn and grow. It's an awesome validation experience for agents. So once you reach 5 minimum on your level 1, you're paid full amounts on levels 1 and 2. 10 agents on your level 1, you're paid the full amounts on 1, 2, and 3, so on and so forth. I'll be sharing a little bit about my journey and my revenue share with you today. And when I do, I want you to know that I am at, I think it's 18 qualifying level 1s right now. And I do want to tell you what qualifying means. I actually have 26 on my level 1, okay? But this month, it changes every single month. It's on a rolling basis. This month, I have 18 that are qualifying, meaning they have closed 1 transaction equaling $5,000 in gross commission income within the last 6 months or more, okay? They've closed 1 or more transactions within the last 6 months. That means they're qualifying and they help me open up different levels. I'm still being paid on them as a level 1 agent, but they're not helping me open up other levels of payment unless they are qualifying. So right now I have 18. So what does that mean? What levels am I fully being paid on? I'm fully being paid on tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I am 2 people away from opening up this full 1%, 0.9 plus the 0.1, opening up that full 1% on my level 5. How many people would you guess are in my level 5? So just so you know, I have 350, just hit 350 agents in my organization. And out of those 350, any guesses? How many people are on tier 5? Tanya, you're so funny. I still love magazines. 200. Okay, well, that's a really good one, Tanya. I wish, but I do have, I think the last count was 82. So 82 people out of my 350, I'm not receiving that full payment on yet. And my revenue share this month is tracking so well. Last month it was right at $14,000. This month I've already checked and it's already over $14,000, and we have a week, really 2 weeks left before it'll completely be closed out. I'm anticipating it's going to be my biggest month ever, probably between $16,000 and $17,000. So that's without tier 5. You can only imagine when that opens up, and I'm being paid on those 80 something other agents. Any questions on that? I'm going to stop share really quick and just to see if we can, oh, it's so good to see everybody's faces, to see if we're able to hear this little video that Brent Gove did. I just needed to optimize for video clip. Okay, I'm going to press play and just see. Oh, it's not allowing me to press play. What's going on? Let's try this one more time. Looking all blurry for some reason. Maybe not this optimized thing. Okay. Still not working. Okay, sorry guys. I think this might have happened. I thought I had it figured out last night, but for some reason it is not wanting to share. It's a brief video by Brent that describes how quickly it accumulates and how quickly your income can increase just from getting 5 agents on your level 1. And helping them grow. It can make a $3,000 to $7,000 difference a month for you, which is really huge. So I'm sorry I can't get that to work today, but we'll slide on over to the next one here. Maybe. There we go. So this is old. This is from the last time I taught the class, probably 6 months ago. But as you can see, that month I had 19 FLA, which is frontline. I'm sorry, I only had 19 frontline agents, and I was only 13 frontline qualifying agent. That's what that means. So frontline qualifying agent or frontline agent. I was at 266 agents. This was again about 6 months ago. And my revenue share was at right at around 11,000. So it's just amazing how quickly someone knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, and it quickly starts growing your income. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. How do I get started? Create a list of agents that you would like to partner with. Guys, when we talk about having a plan and setting goals, you can set goals and say, ooh, I want to contact 100 agents in the next month. Well, where's the plan? Who are those agents? What company are they with? Approximately, what is their production if they're in your local market? Do they have a team? What is their email? What is their cell phone number? So you're going to want to do this in KV Core. If you want to use KV Core, it's a fantastic place to do this. There is another software called CRM Grow that I do recommend. There's not huge differences in CRM Grow, but it's not super expensive. I want to say I pay $50 a month. My assistant does all of that for me now, but it's a little bit, the difference is this, it's geared toward agent attraction for EXP, where KV Core is geared toward lead generation and sphere of influence nurturing, right? However, you can still do this in KV Core. The biggest difference is when I email a prospective agent the Brent Go video, which if you're not using, you need to be, and we'll go through that. When I email someone a video to watch about EXP, I can't see if they've watched it. I can't see if they've opened their emails. But in CRM Grow, I can see all of that. It shows me if they started the video and stopped at 5 minutes in. It shows me if they finish it. So it helps you with follow-up. So in that regard, I do like CRM Grow. So create a list. We got to think outside the box, guys. This is not just about Denver, Colorado. This is not just about Charleston, South Carolina. This is about global. So yes, we want our local agents included in that list. We're going to talk about where to find those agents. We do want out of area agents as well. International agents. You look at your co-broke and referral agents, former co-workers that may have their license now, right? So go stalk your former co-workers on Facebook, family that might be in real estate across the globe, social media real estate friends, and then friends of your family and friends. This is a big one. We're going to talk about this in just a second. So ways to add to your list. And this is going to be part of your goals, your homework for this week. So right now, if you have a notebook handy, this is what I recommend. And you're going to laugh. Those of you that know me well know that this is the kind of girl I am, right? So yes, I keep notes in my phone, but this is the kind of thing I'm constantly keeping a notebook with me. Yay, Mary Ruth, I love it. So I'm constantly have a notebook with me, and I am always writing down agents' numbers and names. Just if I'm in the car, I'll open up my notebook and be like, man, I forgot about Barry, or I forgot about Mary Ruth. And I just write that name down just so that in this old brain of mine, I don't forget. In fact, funny story, this morning, My youngest daughter had an interview at the hospital here, and she calls me early and she said, do you mind if I swing by and grab one of your nice looking notebooks, like the leather portfolio? And she went and bought a new pair of pants and she was all excited. I said, sure, honey, come on by. So I get out my leather portfolio that I really don't use anymore, and I open it up. And on the first page is a notebook inside. It's gotten stuck in a drawer, and it had a list of about 50 agents' names on it that I probably haven't looked at in 3 years. I probably was at an event, an EXP event, and I just started brainstorming and thinking. So I ripped that page out and I put it in there on my kitchen counter. So I work on inviting them to an event that we have tomorrow. So some out of the box ideas. We all know we can work with the agents that we've done transactions with. We all know we have our friends in the business. We all know we might have family in the business, but let's think outside the box for just a minute. Meet with your vendors. Who wants your business more than anyone on this planet? More than buyers and sellers want, you to work with them on different things, but attorneys, lenders, inspectors, home warranty companies, title companies, you name it, they want your business. So don't you think it's fair for you to call them up and say, I want to meet with you for coffee because I have a favor to ask of you. And in return, I'm going to continue feeding you anyone that I possibly can, like I always have, right? Or continue using you, of course, for my home inspections. When you sit down with them, give them a 10-minute overview of EXP, because you want them to do two things. You want them to get excited, right? About, wow, this is way different. Agents should love this. Well, they do. We've grown from 2,400 agents to 85,000 in 5 years, right? They do love it. And it's a breath of fresh air. And the reason I'm telling you about it, Mr. Home Inspector, is because I know you come into contact with agents all day, every day. And there may be times that you're going to hear Mary Ruth go, oh man, I tell you what, I'm so tired of getting all my money taken by my company, or I just came from a closing and it wasn't the money I expected to get at closing, or whatever it may be. They hear the rumblings oftentimes when we don't. So I would just say, I would ask two things from you, Mr. Home Inspector. I wanted you to kind of be excited about what I'm doing and what we're doing in this market, because we work as a team, right? You're part of my team. So I just wanted you to kind of know the basic differences about us. And I would ask you this: if you ever come across an agent that you just know personally as a friend and think this might be a good fit for them, or that you hear grumblings from, would you mind just letting me know? And I promise I will always approach it in a very professional manner. I won't even use your name, but just kind of be my eyes and ears on the ground, and also for people getting their license. And then lastly, can you give me real quick the names of the top 5 realtors you enjoy working with the most? Right there, sitting at coffee, they will rattle off 5 names for you. Maybe agents you've already connected with, maybe not, but it's 5 more warm conversations that you could have, saying, hey, I was talking to John Padone. He absolutely loves working with you on his home inspections, and I wanted to reach out because he thought, we might be good to just work together and brainstorm together on some things. This next one, I think it's great to take a picture of, but that's totally up to y'all. This has been the moneymaker for me as far as starting to get contacts outside of my local market. Shelly always says to me, Meg, you got to get out of your way. You got to get out of that local market. You need to be expanding and building legs in your revenue share across the globe. This is what started it for me. And I cannot take credit for this. I learned it at an EXP Sprint event a couple of years ago. If you are not going to EXP events, guys, please go ahead and commit right now. If you're at all serious about starting to grow revenue share and really making a difference in people's lives, you need to be in Cabo on I just booked my flight last night, March 26th through April 1st. Mark your calendar, March 26th through April 1st. Go to BrentGove, GOVE.com. and get signed up for that Cabo event. It is phenomenal, and it's solely focused on agent attraction. And I hate using this word, but I kind of love it as well. Come hang out with the ballers, right? You're going to be hanging out with the ballers in the company, the big dogs, the ones that have had huge success with this. And they're the ones that you want to be learning from. And they will share every technique, every secret. And you'll be like, wow, Meg's call was nothing compared to all this, right? And that's what I want. So please book your flight. Don't even think twice about it. To me, it is the best trip of the year, hands down. And it's been the biggest growth for me. Anyway, at one of the sprint events, which happens more regionally with EXP, someone said something like this, and I've kind of tweaked it, but send this text message, okay, to friends and family that are contacts in your phone. If they're a contact in your phone, do they know you well enough for you to say, hey, I hope all is well with you and your family. I'd love to catch up soon on a call. I have a quick favor to ask. What happens when you ask friends and family that question? When you say, I have a quick favor to ask, they're way likely to help you, right? They're extremely likely to say, oh man, Meg asked me a favor. I forgot. I got to look back at that text and try to get her this. So all you need to say, keep it simple, is I'm expanding my real estate referral relationships as well as expanding my team across the globe. And I wondered if you could share 2 or 3 names of well-respected realtors in your area or friends you have who are realtors. I would love to connect with them to see if we could establish a working relationship. Do you have a few names you could share? I really appreciate your help. We need to catch up very soon. How long would that take you to do this week? It's cut and paste, right? You might add one little extra line for each person or something to personalize it a bit. But this is one of your challenges for this week. Okay, guys? I don't care if you can talk EXP, we're here to help you. So don't let that hold you back. Just do it. Just start, and then we'll help you along the way. But that text gave me, let's see, I've done it twice in 2 years, and I need to do it again. It gave me the first time around 6 Zoom calls with agents. It gave me probably 30 something names. 6 of them agreed to Zoom calls, and 4 of them came on board with the company, all 4 in different states from where I'm located. So it's a money-making text. And I highly advise utilizing that. Why text and not email? Yeah, I mean, to me, it's faster for people. You don't get lost in their email, and it's just faster for you too. You have their phone number, you may not have their email, right? So to me, text is the way to go as far as that goes. Social media is your friend. Other ways to add to your list. Well, I don't know agents. That excuse doesn't work, guys, in today's day and age, because we have. I might need to mute here really quick. That excuse doesn't work. Well, who is it? I can't. Oh, maybe iPhone. I think maybe just join. If you could possibly mute yourself. iPhones. I might have to remove them. iPhone, are you there? There we go. Yay, thank you. That's perfect. So social media is your friend, right? We used to be able to say, well, I don't have connections. I can't really say that anymore. Video is your friend. Social media is your friend. It enables you to connect with agents everywhere across the globe. On Facebook, how many real estate groups are you a part of? These are all things to look at this week. Are you a part of many different real estate groups? What are your hobbies? Have you joined groups on Facebook that have to do with your hobbies? Are they all going to be real estate agents? No, but a handful of them will be, right? And so you'll be able to connect with them through basket weaving. I always use that as an example. If you're into basket weaving, join a basket weaving group. Former teachers, here's I hope a golden nugget for the day. Jennifer Pratt, you and I were talking about this yesterday. who, by the way, is my accountability partner. I worship this woman. I love her to death. Our energy really helps each other every week. So we're going to be talking about accountability partners. But all the times that we've talked on the phone, Jennifer, I never thought to mention this to you until yesterday, right? So I was like, oh gosh, but creating your own Facebook group, think outside the box. I've got a couple of guys in my, on my team that are firemen. They still work as firemen. And I said to them, do you know how many firemen probably have their real estate license? Because you guys don't get paid well. You have a set schedule for a month, or paid as well. You have a set schedule for a month and you can plan out when you can do showings. He said, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Jennifer yesterday, we were talking about it. I'm trying to remember now what group. Oh, camping. She's a big camper, a glamper. And so I said, hey, start a Facebook group, right? Realtors, some funny name, I don't know, camping realtors or glamping realtors. All of a sudden, you're going to get realtors joining these groups from all over the country. So think about your hobbies, create your own. Nurses in real estate, huge one. Teachers in real estate, that's another huge one. So draw people in. I told Jennifer yesterday, I go, I'm too busy. I wish I had some hobbies and I could create a group. I have no hobbies to create a group right now. On LinkedIn, post videos about connecting for referrals, right? Hey, I'm Meg Watson. I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm super excited to be connecting with all you realtors across the country. And I want to create my own huge referral network and would love for you to be a part of it. Let's talk about your business. When can you hop on a call, right? Send me a message on LinkedIn and we'll set up a time to get on a call. Instagram, post a video to make yourself stand out. Video. Is Darlana on here? Darlana has done a fantastic job. Jane French, you're doing a fantastic job at video. Ellen O'Neill, there's quite a few of you that are crushing it with Facebook Reels, with Instagram video. If you're not using video, you are not standing out. Jennifer just had her 3-year anniversary, and I went to her house last week, and my daughter videoed a funny little bloopers video of us, and I just interviewed her, and she said to me yesterday, I have gotten so much traction out of that. So video works on any of the social media platforms. Not only social media, I want to ask you, are you using video in text? I need to add that in here. Are you using video in text messages? There are a couple of big hitters that I have been trying to get a meeting with for months on end, a couple of them a year or two on end, just because I know them and I'm never pushy. We'll talk about how to attract people and not pursue people. But what I started doing with these really busy team leaders is doing a quick video and sending it via text while I'm driving, because I want them to know I'm busy too, right? So I don't want to be sitting on my couch in my sweats eating bonbons. I want to be busy. I want to be like, hey, Dave, I'm out driving to a showing and I was just thinking about you. I just want you to know I truly am blown away by the business you've done this year. Super proud of you. Keep up the good work. And as you know, I still really want to get together for a cup of coffee soon, just to talk about business and brainstorm and learn a little bit more about how you're running your team. Let me know when it works. Have a great day. Bam, I send that text. Okay, so if you're not using video, here's the last thing I'll say about video. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry if you say, I'm probably going to say it 80 times today, at least in this hour. Don't worry about it. People don't care anymore because video has become a sit here with your little ring light like I have at your desktop or your laptop. It is not hire a professional photographer and do hair and makeup and all that stuff. It's way more casual. Another way to add to your list, get out there, you guys, in your local market, whether you are brand new. Cody, I'm not sure if you're, yes, Cody is on here. Cody is friends with my son. He's with EXP. I'm so glad you're here today, Cody. But I know that you're newer to the business, and congratulations, you've already had a listing that sold. I'm super proud of you. But Cody is newer to the business, And here's what I can tell you. You get out and you meet all the realtors you can at every single realtor event. And those of us that are old school, I stopped doing it. I got tired of it, right? I used to be on the board of directors at CTAR, our local board here. The MLS board of directors. I used to teach prerequisite classes here. I used to be or teach MLS classes. I used to go to every CTAR event. I got burnt out. But guess what? That is your bread and butter locally. If you're out at those events and you're wearing a name tag that says EXP, you will make connections. People will be coming up to you, and you'll be able to start, now people are going, so what do you think about EXP? Where, believe me, those of us that were here, Kathy Burns, you were with me 5 years ago. It was way harder to talk to agents, even up to the last year. So go out, get your face out there and meet people. I'm going to buzz through these last few slides. We're probably going to be done by 12:10 today. Sorry, guys, since we got the late start. So 10 more minutes. Attracting versus recruiting. This is a good screenshot too, if you'd like to save it just for some good strategies and scripting ideas for social media. Guess who is joining us next? EXP is expanding to another country, learning together in yet another great class. I would challenge all of you right now. Well, let me do this. I'm going to stop share. All right. And look at this screen packed with agents. I want you to take a picture of it real quick. Let me see your phones. Take a picture. Don't smile because we're supposed to look like we're working. But take a picture of this, post it on social media, and say, learning from top agents all over the country yet again, right? That simple. Learning from top agents all over the country yet again. I love this company. Little things like that can really, really boost the FOMO. So we want to talk about that, fear of missing out, right? FOMO is going to get you more agents than anything else you do. And Jennifer, I think you do a great job at this. I think as a group as a whole in Charleston, we've done a really good job at this with our events and things that we just want to create that energy. You don't want to miss out on this. I'm learning from all these people. I'm going to these events. When you're at these realtor events, do a live on Facebook, right? When you're getting ready to get on, or right before we get off of this call, do a live and say, wow, just got done learning. You may not want to say it's about recruiting. Some people think that's what we're all about, but just got done learning techniques from top agents across the globe, right? So all those things, they're fun attention grabbers that create FOMO. Bring in other leaders and make them feel special, or post videos of other agents' successes. I have a huge one I can't wait to post that I just found out about last night. Ryan Punches, if you get a chance to message him on Workplace, he would love it. But he messaged me. I feel horrible. I didn't see the list of the awards at EXPCon. Jennifer, you don't even know this yet, Wanda, but he's right here in Charleston, and he was the top team in Canada and the US for a domestic team. He was top in GCI, over 1 million in GCI in the past 12, from June to July, a 12-month time period. So pretty amazing. So I'm going to give him kudos, right? You want to be celebrating other agents, especially even other agents with other companies. Don't be that agent that just doesn't like something. If another agent has success, we want to be the ones that they go, man, Ned's constantly saying nice things to me. Carla's constantly saying nice things to me, man. And then when you ask them for coffee, they're way more likely to go. Make it fun. Celebrate your successes. Recruiting, though, so that's attracting. Recruiting is you throw EXP in their face, right? You have to hear about this. If you're running your business the best way, you're crazy for not being over here yet. You have no idea all the different things I've heard that people have said in the last 5 years. EXP is so awesome. Well, how is it awesome? Why is it awesome? Talk about the masterminds, talk about all the cool things. So recruiting is I instead of them and us, right? Them and us is really important. One more thing I'll say about that. If you're looking for things to post on social media, The best place you can look is eXp Realty announcements on Workplace. If you're not checking eXp Realty announcements every day, then I think you're missing out. What I did, because I'm so forgetful, is I put a reminder in my phone that recurs every single night at 11 p.m. That tells you what a night owl I am. But by 11 p.m., I'm done with all my calls. I'm done with all my emails. I probably watched a little bit of TV or worked or whatever, and I'm laying down in my bed and I pull up my phone and it pops up every night. Check eXp Realty announcements. What I do with that is it gives you great success stories, right? Agents that have come on board, companies that have come on board, videos of agents that have come on board across the world saying, here's why I moved my team of 80 realtors over to eXp Realty. You rip it off and duplicate, right? Copy it, paste it to your page, and put a little comment with it like, wow, this company never ceases to amaze me, okay? Or welcome. Welcome. I don't even know half these agents that I welcome sometimes. If it's a big, huge company or a big, huge team, people may think I brought them on. I always try to give credit to whoever brought them in and say, congratulations to Marge McCreesh for, bringing this awesome team to our brokerage, but post it because people watch videos and they watch announcements. So if you're not ripping off things from that page, it's a great way to do. More attraction techniques. Cody, these are ideas for you or anybody that's on this call that's newer. And those of us that just aren't doing it, this pulls people toward you, right? So everyone wants to be surrounded by people that are more successful than them. Am I wrong? Everybody does. So if you're sharing your successes and you're the busiest looking agent, whether it's a closing or not, doesn't have to be a closing. You don't have to be standing there with the buyer. You can be touring a new homes community by yourself. You can go interview the on-site agent at a new homes community. You can talk about restaurants that are coming to the area, your community, real events that are coming up, giving kudos to other agents. Be the giver, look busy, and then share your successes and everyone else's successes. Those are ways that will attract agents to want to talk to you. Ask, ask, ask. You can never ask enough questions about them. This is when you get a meeting or a phone call or you run into them at an agent event. When you do this, when your first conversation is with an agent, trying somebody that you know you want to ask for a meeting, you can never ask enough questions, open-ended questions about them, their business, their family. When you're talking business, ask them what their top 2 pain points are in the industry right now. Sometimes they'll tell you stuff about their company. Like, I just wish I could make more money with my company, right? What are their goals? What are their hobbies? Ask, 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 and just get them talking. And then all of a sudden, you start to feel like family instead of a competitor to them. And that is the ultimate goal in agent attraction. The power of connection is your key to success. Lastly, I just want to talk about this for 2 minutes. I just got off of a call earlier this morning where an agent said, hey, I need you to help save an agent that I thought I had, and I think they're leaving. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but guys, I have watched this over and over and over and over again. If you think you are the one that needs to have the conversations by yourself, you try it for a while and see how that goes for you. But I can promise you, not that you're doing a bad job at all, but I can promise you that if you immediately say, I'd love to get us on a Zoom call with my partner, John Padone. I'd love to get us on a Zoom call with my partner, Sherry Bradley. We are all partners. I'm no better than you. Shelly's no better than me. We're all equals. We're all partners in this. You have no idea. If I've done anything right, I did this when I was growing my level ones, and I'm still doing it to this day. Even after 5 years now of talking to agents, I pull in Shelly, or I pull in AJ, or I pull in John, or I pull in for the big dogs, Brent Gove. But start with your sponsor. And if they're not comfortable doing it, go above them. Go to Shelly, go to me, go to whoever, because we love doing this. This is pretty much what I devote my days to now, is helping agents with Zoom calls with other agents. And you're on the call, we protect you 100%, but that's where I'm using this word connector. Right now, I'd love for you to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10 at how good of a job you are doing at connecting agents to your partners. There's a couple of reasons for this. We're going to talk about this is way bigger than us. If everyone had to grow this company without the help of their support team, we would be less than a third of the size of where we are today. Would you agree with that? I absolutely 1000% think that is a very true statement. Reinventing the wheel is neither productive nor necessary. So you should be focusing on your real estate business until you get your revenue share to the point where you don't have to anymore. Every meeting that you're having with agents, every third meeting, every fourth meeting, every this, every that, an initial meeting for coffee, great, that's fine. After that, you need to be a connector and connect them with whoever you feel most comfortable with above you in your up team. There's a couple reasons that it makes it so successful. We are all stronger together. It's called the third party validation meeting. The goal is to show them that a call with leadership is well worth their valuable time. Here's the art of it, and then we're going to talk about the whys of it. Gene Frederick has a rule of thumb. When you ask me, for example, to get on a Zoom call, just get on there. You send me a little quick bio of the agent, just a few snippets of things that we'd want to know, like what company are they with, how long have they been in the business, have you had a conversation with them yet, and have they seen the Brent Go video? Very important. Number two, you get on the call and you start it because you're the agent that is requesting this meeting, and you do a 15-second edification of Shelly or me or whoever is leading the Zoom. Hey, I just want you, Carrie, to meet Meg. She's been in the business 28 years. She's been with EXP 5 years. And we love doing these calls together. And then 45 seconds edifying the agent to me, saying, hey, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to get to know Tom, blah, 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 blah. And then let the leader of the Zoom call take over. Okay. He always says, shh, because you'll learn so much. I learned so much. I still do when I'm on Zoom calls with my partners. So if you're not doing that almost immediately, that's the one thing you can take away from today. I promise it makes your life easier. And there's just something about that extra validation. So number one, here are why they work best. People want to feel wanted and connected and appreciated most of all. When you say to an agent who maybe is only closing 3 million a year, right, which is still not, it's still good, but you say to them, I really want you to meet with one of my partners. She's one of our leaders in EXP. And I just know that you're worth her meeting, and I'd love for her to meet you as well. If we can do that, we'd love to take 30 minutes to just share a little bit more about what EXP has meant to us. Okay. Secondly, you learn from every meeting. Like I said, I'm still learning, which is awesome. Third, they're much less likely to cancel or postpone when they know now that there are 3 people involved in a call. You see what I mean? So if they know that you've referred to the person leading the call as a leader or one of your partners that's a leader within the company, they think, ooh, I don't want to cancel. I'm less likely to cancel this than I am if it's just one person that I'm inconveniencing. And then friends are just that. They're friendships, right? Peers are just that. They're peers. So let me give you a scenario. You're not likely perceived as a company leader, and that's nothing bad about you. We think you're leaders, but in their eyes, what are you? You're an agent. You're just like them. You're a peer, okay? So when you say, I want to get on a call with you, or I want to sit down with you for an hour, I want to take you to lunch. If it's the initial meeting, that's awesome to go over the basics. But then from then on, what would you do if you were at RE/MAX? If you were at Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams, and I'm wrapping this up in 2 minutes, what would you say to somebody that said, hey, I want to know more about RE/MAX? Would you go, oh, all right, let's go to lunch and I'm going to be the one to recruit you? No, you're going to say, I want to set up a meeting with our managing broker, right? and then they feel special, they feel important, they're going to meet with that person that they don't perceive as much as one of their peers. So that to me is one of the biggest reasons that it's such a validator, right? It makes them feel important. It takes you off the hook, but still validates you and lifts you up. We always do that on the calls. And people are attracted to success stories. So, people like Cody that I mentioned, if you don't have success stories with agent attraction yet, use us, because we've got some that we can share, and some are way bigger than mine, which is awesome. All right, so ideas for a meeting invite. If you just want to take a picture of this, we're going to go over a lot more scripts next week, but this could be your script for this week, okay? For agents. Hey, your name came up when I was talking in our mastermind group. And then eventually they're going to go, what was your mastermind group? Oh, I mastermind with agents all across the globe every day, practically. We do it in our classes in EXP World. I'm in several different groups. Our Impact Worldwide organization has masterminds all the time, and it's just so much fun. And you start creating that FOMO, okay? So when I was talking in our mastermind group, your name came up, then acknowledge them where they are now and celebrate them. And I was just looking at your production yesterday and realized, man, I love watching you on social media. You're crushing it, or your production has gone through the roof this year. I'd love to learn more about what you're doing and maybe mastermind a little bit together, right? Energy and confidence wins every time. Come from a place of love and contribution, and be in the business of changing lives. The partnership script is we've created a global realtor network called Impact. This is a huge one. This is a huge one. If you've been on these 11 o'clock calls over the past year or more, we use the script a lot. We've created a global referral network called Impact. We are doing so many huge things to support each other, including referrals. If I could line up a time with one of my partners for a Zoom call, would you be willing to give us a half hour just to kind of talk with you about some of the things we're doing? I promise it'll be worth your time. Okay, so come right out and ask. That's another thing Jennifer and I have learned in our calls. So we are accountability partners. We call in every week for 2 hours, sometimes 3. And what we've learned is sometimes if I'm just not really in the mood for calls, I'll go, you know what? I'm not going to chit chat with this agent. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, Tanya, it's Meg Watson. How are you today? Good, good. You're crushing it this year. I am just so happy for you. Listen, I'm going to cut right to the chase. I admire you. I admire your business. We've known each other for several years. I would love to learn some things from you and sit down and have a coffee meeting. Would you be open to doing that? And 9 times out of 10, they said yes. And I hang up and go, that took me 45 seconds. That was so easy. So sometimes I think it's better than the whole, how's the cat? How's the dog? It's great to, they know you and they know you're personable, but sometimes it's just saying, hey, will you do this? I really want to do this. And I'd love for us to sit down and brainstorm. If you want to write this down, this is part of your goals for this week. Define your vision, write it down, carry it in your pocket, review it 2 times a day, take action. Call 10 agents in the next week. You should be probably calling 20, but if you could start with 10, just do that. Go big, call those whales. What do you have to lose? The whales are the top producers. Surround yourself with lion chasers and go all in. We have huge opportunities in this market. All right, if you want to take a screenshot of this, we are done for today, and I'll stay on here and address some questions. But I'd love for you to find an accountability partner. If you're on this call right now and you're willing to do a Zoom, they're via Zoom, not in person. Jennifer and I live in the same town and we do them via Zoom. And the reason is this. You can be on this call with that other person. You have your camera on. You know that you're both paying attention. You have your scribble scrabble on your notebook if you're like me. And you're going, okay, I am calling these 20 today. Who are you calling? And she's like, well, I'm calling these 20. I'm like, okay, your turn. I mute myself. I'm able to listen to her. She puts the person on speakerphone, and then we're able to help each other and critique each other. But more than anything, it's motivation. It's accountability and saying, hey, every Wednesday from 12 to 2, let's do this together. So for these 4 weeks, I would love for some of you guys to partner up together. If you're interested in doing that, Please write down the names that are on the call right now. Penelope Hayes, Aaron Hollier, take a screenshot of these names. Cody Cobb, iPhone, I think I think that might be Cody. Yeah, that's Cody. Tapley Baxter. Hey, Tapley. Jennifer Pratt. I'm missing one here as I scroll. Jennifer Pratt. Jan, I'm not sure of your last name. If you want to put that in there, if you'd like an accountability partner, you could put it in the comments. Jane French. Hey, Jane French. Marge, Carla, Stephen, all amazing people. Tanya, she's so motivated in this. Monica, Sherry, and Wanda. So if you can reach out to each other on Workplace, it's super fast, super easy. Tanya said, Tapley, we should try this. Asking if they were open is huge. Yes. Solve their problems. Yes. I love it all. Any questions? Good.
Hey.
Networking events. Cody, that'll be great for you. Yes, honey.
I had a question. I was at an open house on Sunday with my buyer, and I met the agent that was holding the house open, and she was young and 2 months in the business. And I got a call yesterday from her managing broker, and I'm pretty sure I'm having coffee with her for her to recruit me.
Yeah. Yes.
So I told my husband, I'm like, what little does she know?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
is that a good idea? I'm like, yeah, I'll have coffee. And her intro was like, I just like to meet new agents and hear your story.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
she'll hear your story. All right.
okay. Okay.
No, that's good. So the only thing that happened to me one time with that, and just be aware that it may happen, is Keller Williams. So I left KW after 7 years to come over to EXP. And all of a sudden I called the team leader there because I knew him really well. And it was when he was still here in this area. And I called him up and I said, Adam, I want to go to coffee with you because seriously, this has your name. This company has your name written all over it. You're such an incredible leader. You're so good at attracting people. And he said, sure, I'd love to. You know what he did? He went back to his sales meeting the next week and said, just so y'all know, Meg Watson met with me this week. She must not be that happy at EXP.
Oh, funny. Okay.
So, that's the only thing that can possibly happen. They're going to try.
I'm going to make it a positive experience. I
Yes.
just thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was great. It was
okay.
Great. So other homework, just write out your why and your freedom vision, ramp up your social media. I want you to tell me next week how many new realtors you friended, how many groups you started or joined. Send out 100 friend and family texts. I know you guys on this call and all of you have at least 100 friends and family that you could send that text to. Create an agent list of 50 minimum. This is your hardest week. I just want you to know that. And then meet face-to-face or via Zoom with your accountability partner to call at least 10 agents each. I would really like if you could do 20. 2 hours, you can easily fit in 10 to 15 a piece. Invite 2 co-broke agents to coffee or lunch that you've done transactions with. And your goal is 3 appointments for 3-way calls by the time that just set appointments set by the time I see you next Tuesday. Any questions? I'm going to stop. Oh, yes, Marge, go ahead. I'm just going to stop the record real quick.